Hello and welcome back to Player Analysis, and today we are talking about Jarrod Bowen. If you have not checked out all the other Player Analysis videos, make sure to check that out on the channel. That's what's been uploaded for the past few days because it's hard to do videos, during international break. And this is the last of, three more? We've got one today, one tomorrow, and one Thursday. And then we're back to normal schedule, Newcastle preview, match reaction. We're back to normal after this dreaded international break will finally end. But yeah, we've been doing videos on a player each day, and today we're talking about Jarrod Bowen. Now, the question in the title, is he a legend or not? Obviously, Jarrod Bowen joined from Hull 2020, scored in his home debut. I'm pretty sure his actual debut was Anfield, and then he scored in his home debut against Southampton. He's done many interviews of time on his background and his story and his rise from, non-league to football, to Premier League football, winning a trophy and all that. And what he's done for West Ham has been a great rise over the years. And in the first full season that he had, the 2021 season, where he was getting a bit more playtime, the guy we were still waiting to see a bit more from him. And we'll demand, and a lot of our fans, including myself, will demand that he scores a few more goals. And I remember having conversations with some fans being like, no, I'm not a fan. I've always been a fan of Jarrod Bowen. I found him slightly more lazy when he first joined. I didn't think he tracked back that much. He now does track back a lot more. He could probably do a bit better with that, in my opinion, still. But I think, to sum him up, he didn't really track back that much. And he was a player that we knew he had potential, taking people out on the inside and the outside, left foot, right foot, etc. But we're yet to see the goal scoring form that he was going to bring, that he had the potential to bring. But then the 21-22 season, from that October to May, he was superb. From that Liverpool game till the end of the season, where people only noticed his purple patch of goal scoring, and then he got the England call up, that is where he was shining the most. That was where he was shining the most in that season. Obviously, the first few months of the season, he was still good, but he wasn't as good as from the Liverpool game till May. And then he got the England call up. He didn't really do that well for the England friendlies. He did well the other day when he came on against Brazil. Started to take on people, nice close dribbling. We got to see a lot of that. Now, because he scored the goal in the final for us, is he a legend? Now, in my opinion, if you want my genuine, honest opinion, as much as I don't feel like I am old enough to really talk on people being legends for West Ham United that much, but what I will say is that I think Jarrod Bowen is a legend. The reason why I think he is a legend is because if you score a goal in the final to win your team the match, the way that happened, the connection you have, all of that put together, you got to be put down as a legend. Now, him and Mikel Antonio are probably the current legends at the club. You could argue maybe a few more. You could argue. But those are the guaranteed ones, in my opinion. Now, I know that older fans probably have a lot higher standards because they've seen better players. They've seen probably the best players at the club. Some have even seen Bobby Moore, which, fucking hell, you see Bobby Moore, like, what? Like, I've seen Roger Johnson. Some have seen, like, Trevor Brooking, Billy Bonds, Machiavelli and Cotty up front, the 80s team, Devonshire midfield. So they might hold players to higher regard because of what they've seen, and they've seen the best, so they have higher standards. However, we haven't had much glory. Well, we haven't had any glory in this century apart from that final. So that's why I would put him as a legend, And one thing from this season, I think we all know this, despite him being playing up front a lot, and despite the fact he scored more goals, a lot of his goals have come from coming down the inside right channel, still till this day. He's better on the right wing. He didn't play well against Aston Villa, don't get me wrong, but he's better on the right wing. Now, the only time he's really scored and him being in the middle was actually against Brentford. It was against Brentford. We pressed high, and he was actually playing striker and played well, and he was a good fox in the box then. But playing him right wing, you get to see the best out of Jarrod Bowen. You don't get to see him isolated. You know, when we play him up front, we're doing long balls to a guy who's 5'9", 5'10". Why are you expecting him to do that? Like, he can hold up the ball well. We've seen him that if you put it on his chest, he can hold up the ball against stronger centre backs. We saw that at Tottenham away in the second half and at Arsenal away. But he's not. You can see he's not a striker. You can see the best of him is where he's taking on players, going down the inside, the outside, trying to get a goal or two, etc., etc. Now, for me, you're only going to see the best of him at right wing, where we have an outlet such as Mikel Antonio that is the only striker that fits this system that Moyes likes to put out, and that's the only way any striker is going to get any sort of service is if he's a bully and he runs down the channels. And Bowen's always the guy who's an extra option for running in behind. And we need runners with the likes of Paquetá, Kudus being the creatives, being the guys who can also take on players, being the guys who can also create openings and have those thread of a needle passes, the eye of a needle passes, whatever the phrase is, has that vision that no one else has in our team, can play the sort of passes that nobody else can play in the team as well. But Bowen, in my opinion, as well, this season should probably be getting 20 goals. This season, I think this is his best chance of getting 20 goals this season. What is he on? He was on 11. It's probably not as likely now, but he was on 11 for a bit, and I think he might be on 14 now. So if he could get 20 now, I guess that would be a lot to ask because it's like 6 in 9, 6 in 10. That would be amazing for him, and that would be surely guaranteed to go to the Euros, etc. But even his performances when he hasn't scored, people only look at because he has put himself now out as a sort of goal scorer, etc. When he doesn't score, people look at him like, what? Like, what are you doing, sort of thing. But there's been games where he has played well and he hasn't scored. So goals and stats and all these sofa score nonsense stuff is not really much to look at. Because if I was to look at stats for football, there's no point me watching the game. I can just look at the stats. But that's not how football works. I watch stuff with my own eyes, and guess what? When I watch stuff with my own eyes, I can see that Jarrod Bowen, we're, believe it or not, probably yet to see the best of him because our manager plays so defensive. But when you can see him, at his best, when he's happy, when he's confident, when he's taking on players, that's him at his best. Trying to find a goal, trying to find an edge in a game, and probably the guy who's going to come clutch and the most concentrated throughout the whole 90 minutes, like trying to find a 90th minute winner. It's most likely going to come from him or like a Kudus. But that's just my opinion on Jarrod Bowen. Let me know your opinion in the comments below. Make sure to like the video. We are on the road to 500 subscribers, so if you could subscribe and try and get me to 500 subscribers before the end of the year, that would be fantastic. And yeah, social medias are in the description if you want to follow me, any email for the inquiries. I'll see you guys later. Goodbye.